Phase in the East Haven crash will almost certainly have legal implications. Among the questions that will have to be resolved is who is ultimately responsible for that accident. News 8's Kent Pierce joins me in studio with an attorney who has handled many cases involving aviation accidents. Kent?
Yeah, Keith, fortunately we don't get a whole lot of plane crashes in Connecticut, but attorney Bob Reardon has litigated several of them that have happened, including one very similar to this about 10 years ago. Bob, thanks for coming in here. There's a lot of investigating that happens in a plane crash by a lot of different entities. Let's talk about some of the investigating that's been going on and going to go on from here.
Well, obviously, we all know about the NTSB. They've been investigating this from the beginning. They're contacted almost instantly as soon as the airport became aware of this terrible crash and the terrible tragedy. Besides the NTSB, by now there are insurance investigators that have been on site. There are going to be manufacturers' representatives because this was a twin-turbo Aero Commander, which is a twin-engine plane. Right. It's a plane that's a little older plane, but I suspect that it was well taken care of. Nonetheless, I'm sure that the people that were servicing this plane are going to be investigating it as well. Very likely, the city of New Haven will have investigators on site. As well as maybe Teterboro, where the plane came from. The plane originated out of New Jersey. Teterboro had been fueled up there, obviously. Yep. It was on its way, on approach to the airport here, and went down at the last moment. So there's a host of different investigators involved. The one set of investigators that probably need to be involved as well are investigators that are looking out for the interest of these families.
And that's where you come in, obviously. What rights does somebody have? What should they be doing when a plane falls on their house? Because this proves that it can happen to basically anybody.
Well, people that are knowledgeable in this field, lawyers and investigators, aviation investigators that work with lawyers, will come in. They will do their own independent investigation. They often will share information with the NTSB because the NTSB is engaging, and they're announcing that in 10 days they'll come up with their preliminary investigation, but that isn't the final investigation. It'll take several months, and in the process, there will be a sharing of information on the part of everyone involved in this, all of the experts. And hopefully they will come to a resolution as to what happened here. There's a lot of possibilities. There's a possibility because of the fuel here and the twin engine. One engine could have failed in this, throwing this pilot off. The balance of the plane is greatly affected if one engine fails in a twin engine turbo. There's weather conditions, and there's a lot of things that we have to think about in this besides pilot error.
Attorney Reardon, can I ask you about how long this whole process could potentially take?
This whole process usually takes at least 6 months to a year for the NTSB to come up with a conclusion. They do a very thorough investigation, and there's a lot of information that they don't even have yet. The engines have to be looked at. They've secured the plane and all of the wreckage of the plane, and they have to take a look at those twin engines to see if they were operating. They have to look at if there's a black box on this plane. They have to take a look at that. I'm not sure that there is. It's an older plane. It may not. They have to look at the instruments. They have to look at a lot of things, and it all takes time.
All right. Thank you very much. We are out of time, but I appreciate you coming in. Attorney Bob Reardon, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
All right.